Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ali, Chris, and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer. And on today's podcast, we've got your list of feedback, we've got your gaming news. Chris, you want to chat about games you wish you were part of when they were hot?
That's right.
Is that right?
That's on the back of me recently purchasing the Dark Souls trilogy. Dark Souls came out over 15 years ago, and I'm just discovering it now, and I'm like, oh, I love that I'm playing it now, but also I'm like, I wonder what it would have been like when it was fresh and hot and everyone was playing it for the first time.
Yeah, relatable. Yeah. And
thank you.
Yeah, cheers. No, it is. And Guy, you want to chat, we want to make video games about each other.
Yeah.
But we're the protagonists, but you've got to make it that we'd hate to be the protagonist.
Yeah, so if I had to kill you guys... No, I'm not going to
no.
Yeah, so basically you've been told, hey, congratulations, we're choosing you as the main protagonist in a video game. You're excited, but then we've got to make that game for each other, but we've got to make it so that you sit down to play it and you go, this is everything I hate about life in video games.
Yeah. Right.
But you're like, but it's me in the video game. So it's like that. It's the polar opposites.
Yeah, right.
Bit of fun.
Love it.
Not
Little
as
bit of
relatable,
fun.
but yeah, okay, sweet.
Also, just want to note, who was late today?
I was late.
I mean, I was, but
I mean, we both were late, but
we were both late.
just for the listeners out there,
Hang on.
Before
Before you do that, let me just get on this high horse. Come on, here we go. Yeah. Calm down, girl. Calm down.
a few weeks ago, we had a bit of a team talk about being late.
Yes.
And about how we all don't really have real jobs and we shouldn't ever be late.
Who started that? Because
Me.
I think, you did.
I brought it up.
Chris,
Yeah.
I
I think the words were, what's with this lateness?
Well, it's just because I'm like, hey guys, a few minutes late, like every week.
Yeah.
And then of course, what's it called when it comes back around and bites me?
Karma.
Karma. I don't know if it's karma. I'm a pretty good person. But I was late today. Holy shit! Recording in the morning.
Yeah, we have changed recording time just for today.
To suit me too, which is really rude.
The audacity.
We're doing a charity thing at my radio station, so I have to be there for that. But
Just had to
far
throw
out.
the charity bit in there, right? Just
Well,
to
it
make-
is.
You're such a
That's
good
how
guy,
I
bro.
justify it.
Such a good guy.
Man, look at you pessimist. Like that. It's a good thing, actually.
No, it is.
If
It's
you'd
a
like
great
to donate $3, text Lou to 3779.
Lou,
Bowel Cancer New Zealand.
LOO.
Nice.
Yes, that's correct. I do charity stuff. But holy shit, 10 a.m. recording time. Everyone's parked around here. There are no parks.
Yeah. I was quite lucky. I got here about 15 minutes early. And
my
Yeah, but everything's lucky for you, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a tin ass. And I managed to get a car park, popped right across the road from a cafe. As you can see, I've got a coffee. It was lovely. I like recording at this time.
So do I. How do we ask Chris if we could do this every week?
going to suggest that we do it every
We can do it next week.
Oh, can we?
Probably even earlier.
Oh,
No,
why?
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it if possible. Let's do it at 10 a.m. next week.
Okay.
That'd be rad.
Because I'm on the Bricky show.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I see.
Very good.
And then after that, we'll see how we go.
I like it because like I dropped my kid off at kindy and then I head straight here and it takes me about half an hour because of traffic. But if I get here 15 minutes early, get a coffee, podcast is done, and then I've still got the day. You know?
Well, the
Exactly.
issue is, right, I have to drive into town, do the podcast, drive back home, then drive back into town.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's
Whereas
why we
your
did it in the first
kidney,
place.
your kindy's by your house.
Yeah.
And you're not coming into town,
Yeah.
Ellie, because
I'm
you're
not
not
doing
on the
shit.
radio.
It makes complete sense to do it the way that we do. I just like doing it.
No,
well,
yeah.
look, I'm open to it. Look, we don't want to, base everything around me.
No, we can. We'll
We have.
regroup. We'll regroup, okay?
Yeah, we'll do it again next week.
Yeah.
10 a.m.
As long as the studio is free. We do have to actually book it with the studio.
Yeah, let's look at Tash. Tash is nodding currently.
Okay, cool.
Which means good. Yes.
All right, should we jump into some listener feedback?
Let's do it.
All right. Based on last week's episode, I was chatting about Easter eggs and games and based on Split Fiction, and we all joked about how the person who brought the topic would have brought the origin of what Easter eggs actually are.
Oh, yes.
And I didn't.
No, you didn't.
But luckily, Daniel in our ECG for ECG Facebook group.
Jesus, look at the size of that.
Yeah.
It's a hefty
I'll
hefty
try
post.
sum it up. But he came in and said, I was there 45 years ago when Warren Robinette hid what became known as the first Easter egg in gaming at a time when Atari did not credit its game designers.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah, in his game Adventure. Basically, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I should have shrunk this down.
Basically, blah, blah, blah. Pointless stuff from a listener.
TLDR.
He hid his name in a secret room and
That's
you could only
right.
access it by standing on a particular pixel on the screen. Adventure was the 7th biggest selling game for Atari. And then basically they didn't know about the secret room, Atari didn't, and the designer's name until he left. And then a teenager wrote to them and told him it was there. Atari wasn't happy, wanted to re-release the game without it, but it was going to be too expensive. So the developer of software at Atari just suggested they keep it in. And they encouraged it in future games, and then that's how Easter eggs came to be.
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
If you've seen the movie Ready Player One, excellent movie.
Yes.
It's
Haven't seen it.
It's referenced at the very end, and it shows because the whole point of that movie is finding 3 Easter eggs. And
Yeah, right.
then it references the original, and yeah, it is crazy that like Atari, he had to hide it, and that they were so mad that they were thinking about re-releasing the game
Because he put his name on it. Whereas nowadays, like, I just finished Days Gone. Spoiler alert, I finished Days Gone. And at the end, you have to sit through every single person's name on the credits.
yeah.
There's lots of credits because it's remastered. It's like, here's the original people and here's the remastered people.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, it couldn't even have one name on it. Isn't that crazy, guys?
That is crazy
Why is
stuff.
it called an Easter egg?
Yeah, I still don't really know why
I
it's
wanna
called an
Google
Easter
that.
egg. Yeah, okay, while you do that,
Well, is it just because it's hidden?
yeah, I guess.
Why is it called an Easter egg?
Once again, Ellie, this is something you should.
I should have brought again. I've not done the background research.
Continue with listener feedback.
Okay, while you do that.
So it's the term originated in the late 70s. It's derived from the tradition of hiding decorated eggs for children to find during an Easter egg hunt.
Right. Okay.
You're just hiding things.
Right.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah.
Logical. Okay, I see. All right. Well, also, we had a big request to get Cousin Beck on this podcast. I'm getting very insecure about it.
I'm starting a petition.
Yeah, no, look, it's had 21 likes in the group here and quite a lot of
Has it?
people replying. And then Daniel said Cousin Beck may not be casual enough, lol. We also had I concur. Yes, let's get Beck Howard on.
That's so funny.
So everyone wants Beck on.
Is she local? Is she here or is she?
Yeah, no, she lives in Auckland. I
Wow.
just haven't revealed that.
Where does she live?
So she splits her time between 2 parts of Auckland, but she's in and around.
No, but
you know.
what parts?
What parts?
Why are you going to go stalk her?
No,
it's
just what
more-
parts?
that's
Okay,
mostly-
she spends some of her time in South Auckland in the week,
Yeah.
and then her other part of the time in North Shore. So she's
Okay.
literally in the 2 extremes, half a
Wow.
week, half a week, because she works in different places.
Right, so
Yeah.
whereabouts in South Auckland?
Like Pukekohe, like Waikato.
Oh, wow.
Pretty
So
much
northern
Waikato.
Waikato, yeah.
What I was trying to figure out is if she's actually closer to the podcast than Ellie currently is. So whether it would make better sense if she was on the potty.
Nah, she's very far
Yeah,
away,
you're lucky.
guys. Yeah, no.
Cousin Beck, move house.
But we should actually get her on as a guest.
What is
We'll do
her
that.
opinion
Well, on being on the podcast?
about this whole?
Yeah,
like-
has it caused any tension? Because you talk about literally last week you were talking about how you'd share your partner Sam with her.
Yeah, unbreakable. I'll
Yeah.
say it again. It's absolutely fine. I'm not threatened at all. I'm
no,
fine.
but what does she think? Is she stoked about it?
Oh, I think she did say like, thank you guys. This is, I'm still reeling from the warm fuzzies of today. Blah blah blah. So she's loving it.
That's good.
But she's actually quite shy in real life. Like she's a lot more shy in quotation marks than me. But she's a great chat. Once you relax her, great chat.
I think when we get her in, eventually, we've got to have something planned around it. Because I think at this point, all I'm imagining is Beck being in and us being like, hey, she's here. And then just like, so you like games? She's like, yeah. So we're gonna do something.
We should get listeners to tell us what they want Beck to like talk about.
Yeah.
We'll get you guys to do all the pre-work, and
So
then
what they
we'll
want
do
Beck to talk about. So like it says here they want you to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Go. Talk about that.
Yeah, we'll just steer
We'll
it.
do a quiz. We'll do a gaming quiz just to see the difference between Ellie and
That's
Beck.
funny, actually.
Oh my god.
That would be fun. We
Howard
should do
versus
that.
Harwood.
And then if
Yeah.
I lose my place on the podcast. That kind of jeopardy. Is that what we're thinking?
I think
Well,
so.
I don't think that's not fair. Because it's already a loss.
yeah, I might as well just leave now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll definitely think of something. Like
Yeah.
if
We'll do
whoever
a quiz.
loses has to like, I don't know,
Shave their head.
shave
Oh,
or get like a face tattoo of ECG or something.
yeah, okay. All right.
One of
we'll-
those things.
We'll do that one day. Yeah. Third bit of listener feedback from Jack Llewellyn. Hopefully that's how you say your name.
Llewellyn, yeah.
Llewellyn, yeah. Chris talking about Days Gone has made me replay it. Honestly, an amazing game. Yes, it can be slow at times, but all in all, still one of my favourite games. So you are out here influencing. Bradley also said, I love it. One of my favourite games. Was annoyed when they announced there wouldn't be another one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and should I talk about Days Gone now or at the
Yeah,
end?
go for it.
So, because I finished it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, far out, it is so slow to get going. Like, you're just mucking around with your mate Boozer doing hardly anything for like the first 15 hours. And then the last 15 or 20 hours is just so intense.
Really?
It's great.
It is a bit of and like I know you're saying how good it is, but just the idea of having to slog through the start, I think that's what's slowing me down, but I don't know why.
Well, yeah, have you started?
No, I haven't started yet because I'm still playing Far Cry 6.
Oh, yeah, true.
But I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the
It's the
when
slowest
it's so
game
slow
in
at
the
the
world.
start, and then it gets epic. So I know
Yeah.
I slogged through that, so I don't know why I wouldn't do it with Days
When I
Gone.
say it's a slog, I still enjoyed the start of it because you're
Yeah.
learning about stuff and blah, 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 blah. It's just when they then crank things up, you're like, oh, whoa, why didn't they start with
Yeah.
this? It isn't like when you're first playing it, you don't realize it's the slow part.
Start with a bang, have a bit of a slog, and then finish with a bang.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I almost do regret playing it because I know there is definitely not going to be Days Gone 2.
True.
So it's almost like, why did I bother?
It's like when
Yeah.
I played Titanfall 2. I knew before going in that there was no Titanfall 3.
That's
but
right.
I still played it because everyone raved about it and it was a fantastic game. And I still, at the end, was like, why is it not going to be a third one?
Well, I played Elden Ring, love it, and in my brain, I'm like, there'll be another Elden Ring.
Yeah.
But if I knew if the studio was FromSoft and heaven forbid was shut down, would I then be like, oh, I don't want to play the games because I know that that's it. There's no more after that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a weird.
It's like starting a TV series on Netflix that you know has been cancelled. It's like, do you bother? Even though everyone's like, you've got to watch so and so. Like, yes, it got cancelled after season 2, but it's so good.
Or starting a TV show knowing that it gets bad at the end, like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
But far out, shout out to anyone that has been influenced by me and played Days Gone. Get through the start of it because, like, such a clever take on the whole zombie end of the world thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Amazing. There's like the end. So many complex storylines into it, like, and not. I don't know. Like, you just gotta do it.
Just got to sink your teeth
And
into
then
it.
like, you think you've heard every single potential zombie storyline and blah, 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 blah. This is a brand new one. And there's a secret ending at the very end where once you finish the storyline, you tidy up a few things, do the last hordes, and there's like 3 story things that happen. People radio through to you and they're like, hey, come over here. You go to them and it kind of ties up and finishes certain little storylines.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
The third one gets you fizzed up for Days Gone 2. Which isn't happening.
I think I've seen that. I think it's
yeah.
been ruined for me on TikTok.
You probably have, unfortunately. But yeah, when that happened to me, I was like, oh my God, Days Gone 2 is going to rule. Oh, it's been cancelled. Yeah. So really great game, but really just a shame.
Yeah. What's your final rating on it? Because it went from an 8, 9.
It went to an 8 to an 8.5.
Yeah.
I still think it's an 8.5.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
when you think about other games that are like 10s and stuff, they are definitely better. But
Okay.
this game, I think it was like the first time releasing a AAA open world, brand new, like a guy on a motorbike. It was their first attempt at this new game, and it was awesome.
Nice.
Some of the writing was pretty cheesy, but once again, the writing, I feel like they start, like the writers, and you're a writer,
Sort of, yeah.
Viva La Dirt League and stuff. I feel like the start of the game was written by writers learning how to write, and by the time they got to the end of the game, they were really good at it.
And they're like, oh my God, this is going to be I'm going to be absolutely killing it for Days Gone 2.
And then, exactly, they were starting to hit their straps, and then, but the start of the game is like really cheesy and like just a bit clunky.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, but then the end of it, brilliant.
Dang.
So yeah, you're really gutted, but also a really great game.
Nice. Love your work. All right. Well, should we jump into some gaming news?
Yeah, so I'll kick us off with gaming news today. So PlayStation this week, they didn't announce that this happened. This was like a soft, well, not even a soft launch. It wasn't a launch. It just happened in the background. Everyone's like, well, why'd you try and sneak that one past us? But it's a good thing, right? So remember when Helldivers 2 came out and then last year they did that whole PSN ban? So they made it so that you had to have a PSN in order for you to play Helldivers 2 online. But there were like so many, there's over 100 countries in the world that couldn't have PSN. So they were shooting themselves in the foot by not allowing these people to play Helldivers 2, right?
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why Helldivers 2 kind of tanked, right?
Yeah.
Well, that has now stopped. They've just completely removed the PSN ban from 170 countries.
Wow.
Yeah, which is fantastic, which means now if you lived in any of those countries, you can play Helldivers 2 on PC and on PlayStation 5. Great news. Why
good.
haven't they announced
why
this?
didn't they do that?
Because that's them admitting that they did something wrong. But the reason that they did this was not Helldivers 2 related. It was because Stellar Blades, the game that came out last year from the Korean developers released start of June on PC.
On Steam,
On Steam, but they didn't do it with they just negotiated a deal with PlayStation to not have the PSN requirement, right? But no one said anything. They're like, all right, well, I know we did this for Helldivers 2, but you guys can have a free pass. And it is one of the most successful PlayStation launches on Steam ever. And they made so much money from it.
I'm reading here, Shift Up is the name of the
Shift Up, that's
company,
right. Yeah.
and it's sold over 1 million units in just 3 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And grand total now, since it was released like 6 months ago, we all got a copy of it.
Yeah.
3 million in total. So 3 days to get 1 million units on PC, like
That's crazy.
And they
Wow.
didn't do the thing that Helldivers did.
So they didn't release it on PC and then release the ban. They just didn't put a ban on it in the first place. Made absolute bank. And they go, why haven't we done this?
Yeah.
So now you can play a bunch of games. If you were in those countries, you can play God of War Ragnarok and the Helldivers 2. So something that should have happened is now happened, but they didn't announce it because they didn't want to have to admit that they did something
Unfortunately,
wrong in the first place.
Helldivers, like they made the mistake with Helldivers 2 and then were like, shit, we can't do this again.
Yeah.
And then they just had to wait for the next game to come out on Steam and then quietly get rid of the Helldivers 2 one. Yeah.
It might have something to do with the fact that Stellar Blade is a whole bunch of horny gamers that want to play a character that's got rather voluptuous curves. Might have
Lovely.
something to do with that. Maybe. I don't know.
Possibly a little bit. to do with
Possibly, Ellie. Possibly.
Well, I mean, it's not out of. I would say Stellar Blade isn't any more overt than a lot of the other games out there. You know what I mean? And I played 2 hours of it, 3 hours. We were given a demo to promote for PlayStation, I think mid last year. I can't remember when it was. It was actually really fun. Like it was actually a genuinely good action game. I thought it was just going to be based on the cover and what it was about. I was like, oh, here we go. But it was actually like a really fun action game.
Yeah, cool.
Will I play it through? No, I won't.
No.
No.
Because I don't like voluptuous curves.
Neither, yeah. All right, I've got some gaming news here. Konami has officially announced a remake of the original Silent Hill, which was released in 1999, developed once again by Bloober Team, and that's the studio behind the recent Silent Hill. Wait, what?
Silent Hill 2.
Thank you. Silent Hill 2 remake. That reveal came during their press start showcase, and it featured a moody teaser, which was exciting. And I was wondering, I'm not a fan of Silent Hill, never played the games, but I was like, why did they remake 2
That's what I was
before
thinking.
1?
I'm guessing 2 was probably more popular than 1.
Yeah, so Silent 2 was remade before the first game because of its accessibility and popularity. Silent Hill 2 is considered the standout of the series and more of a psychological horror classic that stands on its own without needing knowledge of previous entries. And then because that went so well, they're like, okay, we can justify Silent Hill now. So for the horror people, woo, oogly boogly, woo, it's coming.
It's like Final Fantasy VII being remastered and not the earlier ones, or Resident Evil 4, which I believe is like the best in the series. They remastered that too. I really want to play that. I've never played a horror game.
Neither.
I don't know.
I've played Phasmophobia and didn't.
Is that the underwater one?
No, it's actually where you go into a house and you got to try and find spirits and like use these like trying to find ghosts. They're haunted houses.
Is it
essentially.
scary?
It is quite scary because you get frights and it's like got little sounds and then it's dark and then you shine a torch and there'll just be like a ghost there.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I've done Until Dawn.
Oh yeah.
That's
that
Zombies?
No, Until Dawn is the one where you're a bunch of teenagers that go to a cabin in the mountains and then
Classic.
Yeah, I know, right? And then they all get horny. And then there's like these monsters out there, but it's one of those ones where you make decisions and then once a character dies,
Oh, like Heavy
they're
Rain, sort of.
dead. As opposed to like, and then like there's multiple avenues that you can go down. You can let somebody live. You can make it so that all of the teenagers survive at the end, or all the teenagers die.
You killed everyone, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No, there was one character where I was like, he can die. But there was one character that I really liked, and I accidentally mucked up, and then he died, and that's when I found out that it was like permadeath because he died. And the alien like ripped off his head, and I was like, bugger. And then the game just carried on. I was like, wait, no.
Oh no.
He's dead. But now horror games
I've never
aren't my vibe.
Well, but we don't know though. I don't think they are your vibe, Ellie.
Definitely not. My nervous system cannot handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I remember the scariest game we've probably played, Guy, was back in the day playing Gears of War 2.
Yeah.
There's a bit where you go into that old like laboratory where
That's
they're all in the
right.
tubes.
Yeah,
and
they
they
all-
just burst out every now and then and
Yeah.
give you a jump scare. That's like the scariest thing I've done. Or
Yeah.
playing Last of Us 2 with the headphones on where there's those new ones that like stalk you.
And you can't hear
And
them.
hide.
Yeah.
So that's the
yuck.
only like, or Slender Man.
Or the Rat King.
Or the Rat King and Last of Us, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I really, apparently Resident Evil 4, the remake, is like a really great game, like really good. And I would love to play that. Probably like a little 20-hour action shooting game. But I just don't know if I want to like come home from work and then sit down to play my horror game.
Yeah,
I just don't
yeah.
know. It's just not
Well,
wise
it's just
for
like
me.
there's some people out there that enjoy horror movies. My brother-in-law, whenever his wife is away, he's like, oh, cool, I can sit down. He has the house to himself, turns off all the lights, and watches a horror film.
Oh my goodness.
Psychotic.
Yeah, no.
But he's like, he loves it. Gets some takeaways and he'll watch some movie about somebody getting dismembered. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he loves that shit.
Yeah. You know who we can ask about horror games and movies? Cousin Beck. She
love 'em?
loves horror. So when we get her on, we should ask her, what is up with that? Why
Yeah.
do you like that?
What's the deal with
is
that?
it?
What happened in your life?
What happened to you? Yeah. I
Yeah.
know Pugs, who I work with, he's the same. He loves a horror flick. So I guess it is just a thing. If you like it, you like it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
an acquired taste.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of acquired taste, I feel like I got a ginger.
You got a piece of
Okay,
ginger.
this whole ginger thing, all
Yum,
right?
yum, yum,
What
yum.
is a piece of ginger?
What do you mean? You
Well,
started it.
It's your thing.
Because I was so into playing Souls games, and that was the sushi, and then I needed a piece of ginger to cleanse my palate, so I played Days Gone.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a little
But
palate
now
cleanser.
guys are
in
like, oh
between.
yeah, I've got a piece of ginger for today's podcast. I'm like, we don't need to cleanse our palates here.
Yes, we do.
I
Because
follow our anecdote.
If we make it a thing, then we can contact like St. Pierre's Sushi and be like,
True.
hey, we've got this consistent thing in our show.
True that.
If you want to sponsor it.
Contact St. Pierre's Sushi, the only question I'm asking is, why is your name French and why are you making sushi?
That's a great
It is
question.
so confusing.
It started in Wellington. It started from a French guy, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, the original. My wife knows the story. I mean, you could look it up online, but the first St. Pierre's was in Wellington. And there's a reason, because there's like a whole article online.
Really?
Like, why is there a French name behind a Japanese restaurant?
Yeah, by the way, if you're internationally listening, St. Pierre's is the name of a sushi chain throughout New Zealand.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
And has a 90-second jingle, which is crazy.
The CEO, like the heads of St. Pierre's, came into my wife's work because they were getting a tour around the building. Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife did something. She let like her internal voice win. And when they came in, she was like, oh my God, I love St. Pierre's. Because she does. We get it all the time. But then she sang the jingle.
St. Pierre's,
Well, the whole
you
lot.
gotta love our
It was one of those
sushi.
things where she started and no one stopped her. And in her head, she's like, what are you doing, Meg? Why do you keep doing this? There's a really catchy jingle on the radio.
Yeah.
And Meg sang it to them. And
Was
then
it
at the
being
end-
filmed at least?
No, this was just after they'd done their show and they were like, oh, this is so-and-so from St. Pierre's. Meg's like, I love you, St. Pierre's. You're gonna love our sushi. St. Pierre's.
Hot take,
So
their
is
sushi's not actually
fashion.
that good.
We want them to sponsor us, Chris.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, we're just giving them like a $20,000 worth of free plugs because that's how much we charge. But like, if I want nice sushi, I don't go to St. Pierre's.
You go to Japan.
I fly to Japan,
Yeah.
and I go to the fish market. I bid for a tuna, and then I take it to a chef,
Wow.
or I just go to like a small one.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Victoria Sushi by work, for example, in town.
Oh, yes.
In the Spark building now. That's Victoria Sushi still.
I
Very
usually
nice.
I usually go to Toshi Sushi.
No, I saw that guy go wheeze and not wash his hands once.
Did you?
So we call him piss hands.
Very creative.
And so
yeah.
at 3:30, Victoria Sushi in the Spark building
Yeah.
goes on half price.
Oh.
Which is when you're doing a drive show. We start at 4. So
Do you want to get half price sushi?
like 3 times a week. Absolutely,
Oh,
you do. Like deep fried and karaage chicken and stuff.
yum.
Piss Pants puts his
Piss
sorry,
Hands.
Piss Pants.
Piss Pants is the other guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that works in the subway.
He's a guy, yeah. He works at Pitterpit. And so Pissy Pants makes his sushi half price at 4:30. So if you miss out on
interesting.
Victoria at 3:30, you go,
gotta-
I'll have to wait and go see old Piss Hands.
Old Piss Hands.
Oh, I do. Okay, can I just I do love Toshi Sushi. I just want to say that. It's good. It actually is good value. Even
100%.
before half price.
Also, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember who it was that saw him not wash his hands.
yeah, did he not make
I
this
think
up?
I said I saw it, but like someone at Hodaki saw it. I don't even know if that's a true story or not.
Well, you know what I see when
That's defamation right there.
what I see at 5 a.m. in the morning is I see him in the kitchen with
that's his
big,
dad.
Yeah, bless.
That's the old boy.
Yeah, and he's doing the rice at like 5 a.m.
And then his son is Piss Pants.
Oh, what a dick. Like, your old man's getting up at 4:30 to get to work at 5
That's
to
right.
make the rice straight away, and then you just go and ruin the reputation of the place
By pissing all in your pants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
People are like, do you want ginger and wasabi and me to piss on my hands with that?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
no, I'm all good, man. Just chopsticks.
They do give free miso. Is it actually piss?
I
I'd
don't
say
know if
that's
they're
a stretch.
pissing in the miso.
Oh, yeah, that might be a bit of a
That's
stretch.
too far.
Unless
okay.
you ordered piso.
Remember the time we started a gaming podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is ginger.
This
right
is
now.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
a
the
piece of
ginger.
ginger. Yeah, well done.
What was your anecdote though?
Yeah, was there? Yeah.
I have an anecdote. So I'm doing some campaign online with Noel Leeming at the moment. You'll
Nice.
see it on my Instagram.
Ooh.
You haven't promised them a plug
teaser.
on our potty, have you, by any chance?
No, I haven't. But I got chatting to a girl who was helping me at a Noel Leeming. And, we got talking about gaming because it's all gaming related. And she says that the reason that she's in New Zealand is because of gaming. She has an American accent. And I was like, why is that? Like, why are you in New Zealand for gaming? So she's from Utah. And years ago, just before COVID, she was playing Sea of Thieves online, popular online multiplayer game, and she was part of like a Sea of Thieves Discord. One guy on there says, "Hey, I need somebody for a raid. Can you join?
Wow.
Can anyone join me?" She randomly joined his raid. They were chatting in the group chat. Then they just started playing more Sea of Thieves over COVID, and then eventually that relationship blossomed into, "Hey, I quite like you," and then they became a long distance relationship.
Aww.
And then
Wow, a full-blown relationship.
full-blown relationships. Obviously, it went from like, FaceTiming and phone calls and emails and texts and stuff like that. And then just on a whim, he's like, "Hey, after COVID, when the world's not melting, you come over to New Zealand," like sort of on a whim. She goes, "Okay." And then she moved from Utah, United States, and she lives in Auckland, and they've been together ever since, just from playing randomly Sea of Thieves.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
That's so cool, right? I was like, that's such a rad story.
Far out.
Yeah.
Good on her. Just been like, yeah, cool. Go check it out. Because how old would she be? Like late 20s?
Oh, she'd be in her 20s, yeah.
Yeah. So you can take those chances, man.
Yeah,
Go to
got
New
it.
Zealand. Check it out.
That's actually a very good unintentional tease for our DLC coming out on Monday, because
Yes.
we are going to be speaking about gaming stories like that.
Very good.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a coincidence that you brought that up here.
Well, that was a good piece of ginger.
It
Brought
was
to
a
you by
yum.
St. Pierre's Sushi.
Well, it was
Yum,
an
yum.
anecdote. We came up with this great saying, and I just like, do we want it to be a regular feature?
So you do like the anecdote word now, do you?
Oh
my God, you're going back from...
No, I'm not.
You'd rather anecdote
Yeah,
than a piece
really.
of ginger.
I think with the anecdote thing, it was just the amount that Ali would mention it.
Yeah, I really didn't segue well with it, did I?
No, it's all about being natural in radio, and
Yes,
you're
it
like,
is.
all right, time for an anecdote. Who's got an anecdote? Chris, we'll go with your anecdote first. Actually, just on that, have you got any anecdotes?
No, I will say though, Sam and I are powering through Split Fiction.
I logged on PlayStation the other night, saw you were online.
See? I'm a
Very
bloody
good.
gamer now, guys. Do you know what I've realised? Okay, you know how for like 8 months I haven't gamed?
Yeah.
Like I literally haven't gamed for like 8 months. And I've
know.
realised, that I was really burnt out. And I think I was actually in a state of burnout.
Yeah,
And
we
it's
could have told you
not-
that.
Yeah. And it's not until now that I'm refreshed and I'm not burnt out that I'm realising when I'm burnt out, I can't game or really watch stuff because it's too much brain work.
Yeah.
Now and I love Split Fiction, which helps, but like now I'm ready to go, I'm going to play a game. Like
Great.
I just,
That's rad.
I didn't realize it in the moment until now where I've lifted all that burnout and I'm like, if I'm not gaming, I'm probably burnt out.
Yeah.
It's a good clue. That's what I've figured out.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
a huge sign of burnout is when the things that you enjoy doing,
Yeah.
you don't want to do anymore. This time last year when I was really struggling, loved playing video games beforehand, and it brought me so much joy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the idea of playing a video game is just like I would rather have done anything else.
Yeah.
And that in itself, when I made that conclusion in my head, I was like, that's a real shame.
Yeah, totally.
Because I was like, I know I love gaming, but I have no motivation to do it.
Same. And I couldn't explain why either, really.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I was a little bit tired and, not great, but I could not work it out. And now I've worked it out and I'm like, I knew I still loved gaming.
That's awesome.
But I couldn't, justify it in the moment. So, yeah, I am back gaming and I'm loving it. And I think after I've done Split Fiction, it's re-inspired me again. Like, I want to keep gaming again.
Have you got any games on the horizon?
Well, I never finished Spiritfarer. I'm still waiting for that review that I promised about 9 months ago. So,
Ellie's going to review Spiritfarer 2 weeks from now.
okay,
So
yeah.
we did that last time.
Yeah, it didn't work.
What was that about?
No, I'm saying we did that last time about we put a timer on Spiritfarer.
And
did.
it didn't work.
And it
Actually,
didn't
and I know
work.
that you react badly whenever someone does this.
Tells me to do things. Yeah.
Ellie, you do a Spiritfarer review when you're good and ready.
Thank you. Okay, sweet. It'll come next week.
Just to say, Cousin Beck's doing one next week, so you might want to get a wiggle on.
Hurry up. All right, who wants to go next for their segment? How was that segue?
All right, well, I can go next.
Go on.
Yeah.
Just because no one was really leaping.
No.
I love how chill this podcast is now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's good, eh?
Yeah, it's
so
great.
chill, man. We're chill.
Chill as.
So, as mentioned earlier, I have finished playing Days Gone. Highly recommend. Very enjoyable. I bought a trilogy of the Dark Souls trilogy, basically, which is where it all started for From Software. Their first ever game was Demon Souls. They were figuring stuff out. I've played that remastered, really enjoyed it. Quite weird and a lot of weird mechanics and stuff. Dark Souls, though, everyone says Dark Souls is where they nailed it. And that is where FromSoft was truly born to what they are now. Put the disc in, PS4. I've got the latest PS5 Pro and a giant 65-inch 4K HDR, awesome TV, and I'm playing a game that is 15 years old.
Nice.
The game I played before that was Days Gone, which came out 6 years ago. Like I'm not one, and then like I was playing Oblivion Remastered. Like I have not once used my TV for a game that would actually look good on it.
Well, the thing is, like it's your play style. How many times
That's
have you
right.
said like when a new game comes out, you wait at minimum 6 months because that's when they get all the bugs out.
15 years, like with Dark Souls.
And now you're like, I reckon they've got all the bugs out of
nailed
Dark
it.
Souls. Yeah.
So I was very excited when I finished Days Gone. I was like, that was awesome. Put the disc in, ready to go back, and I'm done with my ginger. Time for some sushi again.
Nice.
Yeah, there you
Brought
go.
to you
Yeah,
by
beauty.
Sepias.
Brought to you, but no, it's not. I mean, if they want to come on board, that's great.
Well, they're not now. You said you hate the sushi.
Well, it's just in fairness of opinion. We can't just give them a glowing review. All right, so it's really old, right?
Yeah.
It's like Elden Ring's open world and blah blah blah, and you can really see the evolution of where Elden Ring is now, where it has come from, because Dark Souls is so old, but it's based off a lot of the same stuff. Really clunky. I started playing, got my ass beat straight away, and I was like, oh, here we go. God, sushi, that's right.
Yeah.
Got my ass beat, really clunky. Like, oh, these buttons are really hard. Like, honestly, the first hour and a half on the first night, I was playing it and I was like, this is pretty brutal. And then I went to sleep. And then the next night, my wife went to bed at like 9:30, and then I hopped on and I was just hooked for 2 hours straight. I was like,
Nice.
Oh, nice. Got it.
here it is. And I figured out some things. I figured out how to fight properly. It's a wee bit clunkier than Elden Ring, of course, because it's so old. But holy shit, it's good.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, so anyone who's like loves Elden Ring, loves the new style of games, but has never played that first Dark Souls, I'm like 5 hours in, and it's brilliant.
Nice.
Really good.
Did you buy it as a bundle, or
Yeah.
did you buy 3 individual games? So that is a thing at the moment.
You can get a 3-disc bundle. It was the Dark Souls trilogy. It came out like 8 years ago or something on PS4.
Yeah.
And I just bought it off Mighty Ape that said they were low on stock. And I just bought it, and now I've got 3 discs at home, which I love.
Beautiful.
Meaty. And so basically, off the success of this and the fact, like, yes, it does still hold up now, which is really cool. However, imagine playing it back when the graphics were good and you thought the graphics were good.
Yeah.
And actually playing some old games, at the height, if you could go back and play them at the height of their popularity, where you still thought the game looked amazing, rather than me now settling with the graphics. You know, what are some games that you'd love to go back and play back in the day when they were at the height of their popularity?
So in this hypothetical situation, it could be any game. Like it doesn't have to be a game that it could be a
anything.
game that I have no interest in, but just to be able to experience
Absolutely,
it at that time. I think 1989.
Is that a game or a year?
No.
It's a book by
That's
George Orwell.
Oh, right.
Is it?
Is it 89, 1989?
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm
That's
gonna
an
Google
album by Taylor Swift,
1987.
It is. Great album.
Great
No,
album.
1989, the launch of the Game Boy, because it came in a bundle with Tetris.
Oh.
I'd love to have
Oh,
experienced
wow.
that, because Tetris came out in 1987, but it was launched with like a Russian Soviet computer system. Like it wasn't very well known. But then when Game Boy launched, they launched with Tetris because it was they agreed that it was going to be universally loved. It was a game that kids could love, but also adults, and it went gangbusters. So I would love to have been there for that, because Tetris is a fun game. But at the time, it would have been mind-blowing
True.
to have a game that is that addictive in your hands
I agree.
and not have to play it on a Soviet computer. And to be there for that would be rad.
It would.
Or even just playing Pong for the first time, or like playing any of those games where you're all of a sudden you're controlling a dot and it's like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I mean,
a good
we were there for the beginning of Pokemon. Like Pokemon
Yes.
at its peak on Game Boy
And
was
I-
sick.
And that's going to be one of mine, I think. 1984, by the way, is the book by George Orwell.
Okay.
My bad. It's like a really well-known book. That's my bad. So Pokemon, right, which is also handheld, came out in 1996 in Japan, 7 or 8 in like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, not that I couldn't afford or wasn't allowed, but like I just didn't have a Game Boy. Every time it was my birthday or something, I asked for something stupid, and then I just never had a Game Boy.
Yeah.
And so I missed out on everyone playing red and blue and yellow and trading with one another. I completely missed out on that.
Dang.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that would have been like, and also living in Tauranga, New Zealand, I feel like if I was living in some massive city somewhere with heaps of kids, like imagine playing that game in Japan.
Yeah.
Every kid would have had a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Every kid would have been trading up a storm.
Yeah.
My one would be, and this game still holds up now, and it's one that I've played on and off, but I wish I had started playing Stardew Valley right when it was launched, because mainly, not because of the graphics, because the graphics are kind of the same, mainly for like the cultural side of it,
Yeah.
and being part of like the subreddits and like discovering new things with everyone. I feel like I've missed that boat, and everyone's already played it through, and like I feel like left out of of the culture and the
Yeah.
community. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I kind of wish I feel like I wish I'd discovered that one earlier and played it earlier.
Yeah, because the Dark Souls and Elden Ring community is the same. Everyone goes and finds all the stuff. So now when I'm playing it, I look up something and all the answers are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas back in the day, it would have been a whole lot of people being like, "Oh my god,
Yes.
does anyone know what this is for?" Like the discussion,
Yeah.
and then you could like contribute to that.
Exactly.
That would be really exciting.
It would have been a fun community to be part of, I reckon, back in the day. There's still a
then-
community now, but
What if you had played it back in the day when it first came out and it was like really buggy and stuff?
It's a good point.
You
It's a
gotta
good
wait
point. You got to wait.
years.
I did do a Chris.
You got to wait
Yeah.
at least 15 years.
Yeah. Any other games you wish you were around for?
Look, once again, Age of Empires, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Never played it online back in the day when I was a kid.
Okay.
Only played it online when we were in like our late teenage, early 20s.
Because back when it was online and we were playing it in offline skirmishes, is where the internet was a scary place.
Oh, 100%.
And it was like if you play online with some stranger, it's a pedophile.
It is a
Awesome.
pedophile or a
Yeah.
girl in Utah who wants to marry you.
Those are the two
between.
options. It was 50-50. Another game for me, and you're probably going to call bullshit on this based on my gaming history.
Okay.
1997, January 31st, PlayStation 1, Final Fantasy 7.
Bullshit.
Really?
I just wish...
What, you think you could go back in time, play a worse version of the game and...
I'm
Go.
not saying that I could play it, but I'm saying I wish that I was there for it and got swept up in it. I never touched a Final Fantasy game, and it's got such a aura about it, such
Yes.
a community, such hype, and I don't know. I just feel like, especially something that was so pinnacle, like 1997, and then for it to be so good then, for them to release it now as a remaster,
Yeah.
and being able, because at the time the graphics that you got, PlayStation 1, that was flawless,
Yeah.
and then I wish I had that experience then, and then how exciting would it be in 2024 to be like, we're remastering it.
Oh my God,
And,
yeah.
you know, think of a game that was so good then and you loved it.
Age of
as
Empires
was.
2.
Yeah.
And then they
Totally.
made the new version.
yeah.
Mind-blowing.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
And
And
so
like-
it would have been a really cool experience. And there are people out there, millions of people that would have been able to experience this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
my-
loved it in 97 and they love it now.
Yeah,
True.
I think my mate Nate down in Christchurch, who's part of our Helldivers 2
Yeah.
gang, he was a big Final Fantasy 7 guy. So when it came out, he was really stoked.
Totally.
This is almost another topic too. Games that everyone loves that you don't, but you wish you could get around it.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Like me with Halo.
Yeah,
Oh,
me,
yeah.
Straight up.
Me with Elden Ring.
You with Elden Ring, yeah.
I know I'm never going to love that game, but I wish there was a part of me that could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ellie, have you got
Yeah,
any?
I'm trying to think if
Here's
there's
one for you.
one.
The Foo Fighters are so boring. They are so boring. And everyone's just like, the Foo Fighters have to be the best rock band. It's like, no, their songs are fine.
They
Yeah,
are,
right.
yeah. Foo Fighters have got some great songs, but I agree.
Like,
Do you
working at a rock radio station, the boss is like, we must play Foo Fighters every 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? They're fine.
Sorry, my foot's caught in Ellie's.
I'm just getting.
My foot's caught in Ellie's headphones.
Why have you got your foot in her headphones?
That was a bit of footsie's gone wrong, wasn't it?
sorry.
You mean the chord?
The chord, sorry. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
Yeah, just getting yanked over here.
Like Pearl Jam, you listen to Pearl Jam, you go, that's a good band.
Yeah.
That is a great band.
Yeah, right.
Listen to Foo Fighters, you go, that's pretty standard, cheesy rock music.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more to do with Dave Grohl like being loved? Like, do you think it's
Not
more
anymore.
personality? Yeah, not
No, he cheated
anymore.
on his wife, Ellie.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
He knocked
totally.
up. He knocked up like one of his daughter's friends, wasn't it? Or like a girl his daughter's age.
I don't know. But do you think that might be what the hype is more? That was Dave Grohl being loved more? Or is it
Well, he
like,
was in Nirvana, which I would also argue is a great band. You know what I mean?
interesting
I just
stuff.
think it just sounds cheesy.
Okay.
But
yeah.
that's just my
No,
opinion.
no, fair.
People
yeah.
love them so much that whenever you try to argue with, they're like, bro, Everlong, enough said.
Everlong's a great song.
Everlong's a great song.
Really
Foo
good
Fighters
song.
got some fantastic tracks, but
Yeah.
I don't think they are as
Yeah.
massive as they should be.
So like
Yeah,
the
right.
Chili's, for example, I would agree are very good because they have that distinct sound.
Yeah.
You know, like Under the
Yeah.
Bridge, Californication, all those songs are like iconic.
Yeah.
I loved the Chili's for years, but it's only like the last year where I've just been like, wait, Anthony Kiedis is a weird dude. And he was
Yeah.
like, I've read his book, Scar
Mate,
Tissue.
You got to separate the art from the
I
artist.
know, but where do you draw the line?
yeah, where is the line?
You just listen to the music. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey man, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, great song.
Yeah,
you know what I
great.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where you just listen to the music. You got to
Yeah.
draw a line there. So the topic today for Extremely Casual Group for Extremely Casual Gamers, what are some games designed by freaks? You just got to distinguish the art from the artist.
Yeah,
But no, are there any sort of games that you wish you could get around that everyone else is involved with? What about you, Ellie? I'd be curious to see.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think.
You're a relatively heavy PC gamer, like because you do a bit of streaming and stuff.
Yeah,
Would like
kinda.
League of Legends and stuff like that, and
RuneScape back in the day.
Yeah, I've
RuneScape.
never played those, but have heard they're great. But for some reason, doesn't appeal to me.
World of
I don't know why.
Warcraft, like stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
huge.
World of Warcraft at the
Dota
peak.
2, you know.
Yeah, but then I haven't ever played them, so maybe I would like them. But
Yeah.
for some reason, it doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's not marketed to me because I'm a woman. Do you reckon?
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly.
I'm genuinely asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. Another thing, I've never actually. This is kind of going back to the other topic, but I never really had a like Mario and Luigi lore because I never had like Nintendo stuff as a
Yeah.
kid. So I never followed any of that, and so I always feel really left out when people talk about Mario because I don't get it.
Well,
Yeah.
I never played any Mario games either, but just Mario Kart.
Yeah,
that's
right.
all I gave a
okay.
shit
Yeah,
about.
yeah. But I feel like you know a lot of the names and things, and you don't.
Only because they're all characters in Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
right. Okay, so I'm not alone in that
Nah,
because I always feel like I'm a bit dumb for not knowing
Literally,
stuff.
I'm the same. The only storyline I know about Mario is Princess Peach gets captured by Bowser and he has to save her.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is as far as I can explain it. And he has a brother called Luigi.
yes.
That's it.
What does
Interesting.
Bowser look like? Ellie? Just describe Bowser.
That's like
Try
a
it.
like a fuel Bowser.
A fuel Bowser?
Yeah, he looks like that.
That's an
Wow.
American thing, isn't it? They're
Yes,
calling it a
yeah,
Bowser.
Is it?
Can you describe Bowser, though? Off the top of your head, what do you picture Bowser to look like?
A big old warthog. No.
Yep, a big warthog, like an angry-looking warthog.
Yeah.
Like the pig sort of warthog
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And he's got horns.
Yep.
And
on his head.
he. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I literally have no idea.
What's on his back?
Spikes. Dunno.
Okay, a
Is it-
warthog with spikes on his back.
Okay, yeah, and just quite big and
Scary.
fat and scary.
Can't
yeah.
wait to get ChatGPT to create what Ellie has described.
What is
So he's
that?
like a turtle, isn't he? He's like an angry
he's a
turtle.
For people listening, I am showing Ellie a photo of Bowser. So
Oh,
it's
yeah?
like an angry turtle dragon thing with horns. He wears weird spiky collars like a punk rocker.
Yeah, like he loves his Nickelback.
Is that him there?
Well, that's this
No, that's a turtle
this is
shell.
blue
Which is
turtle
from
shell
the Mario world.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, right. I'm with you.
That's not him. That's just a turtle shell with spikes. Yeah. Is that him there?
yeah, he's there. This is him. He's hiding.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, once again, Ellie is pointing at a blue plastic turtle shell we have here.
You throw these at Mario Kart and you can't dodge them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you get blue shelled.
See, again, revealing my lack of knowledge.
What is the game that you guys were there for the release of? And like were there at the hype, there at the pinnacle?
Crash Bandicoot Warped?
Oh, really?
Was one.
When that
Right.
came out?
Yeah.
That's the fourth one, I think. Was that third?
Oh, yeah, maybe it is fourth. Yeah, it's the fourth. Yeah. I
Was that the
remember
one you ride
being
the
a
tiger
thing.
on the Great Wall of China?
I think so.
Yes.
That's the third one.
Yes, it is that
Maybe
one.
it is that,
Is that
one.
the one where he's on a motorbike?
Yeah, there is bits when he's on a motorbike.
Yeah.
And then there's lots of different little segments because he's got his little worlds and things.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining this well at all. But I remember that being real hype when I got it. Also being around for SingStar and Guitar Hero.
That's
that was
cool.
pretty cool.
That
being
was
part of
an
That
era.
ruled.
Yeah, that was an
That was a
era,
dope
wasn't
era.
it?
That was like, I remember you like come around to my house. This is my mate. Come around to my house, like a few fellas, and we're probably like, I don't know, 11. We'll go to Video Easy, hire out SingStar or
Nice.
hire out Guitar Hero, and we just stay up all night in the lounge in sleeping bags, singing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just pretty weird.
Yeah, everyone come around to my house and we'll sing some songs.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and like playing it, like those are the days, man.
They were the
That was good,
days.
wholesome stuff.
Yeah.
One game that I was randomly, well, there's two actually. First one, I'll just say quickly because everyone's sick of me banging on about it. Witcher 3, when that came out, I got it day one
Yes.
and played it day one, and it was pretty, like, there were a few bugs and stuff, but it was a pretty good release.
Nice.
So that was quite cool. Like, and this thing that you were saying where you go online and Google stuff and everyone's discussing,
Yeah.
how do you, where are you? Oh, here it is. I found it here. And the
Yeah.
other one was in high school, Fallout 3 came out. Which
I
is the
remember when
same
that came
people
out,
that
yeah.
made Skyrim and Oblivion and all that, Bethesda. And I was just like, this game looks pretty cool from the trailer. I'm just going to get it and see what it's like. And I was playing that the day it came out, hugely buggy, terrible to begin with. But everything online was very much people together discussing how to figure stuff out. That was
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, nice.
Really cool, yeah.
Community vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of community vibes, Extremely Casual Group for Extremely Casual Gamers, games that you wish you could have been there for the peak of their popularity, or games that you don't understand but wish you understood.
Yeah.
What all the fuss is about. Is anyone else, like the Foo Fighters thing? Has anyone else got...
Just to bring it back to Dave Grohl.
Have you guys got one like that? Like the Foo Fighters? Like that's the glaring one for me.
Yeah.
I don't understand the hype.
Yeah. I definitely have heaps and I can't think of them on the spot.
Game of Thrones,
Oh,
probably.
yeah, I'd never watched that. Yeah. Didn't get it.
But there's not just. Oh, did you watch an episode?
I tried to watch the first episode and
Hated it.
Yeah, just didn't like it. Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
Really?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
So Breaking Bad I've watched and I enjoyed. I think it's good.
Okay.
But everyone's like, this is the best TV show in the world. Nothing can compare. Walter White is the best protagonist / antagonist in the world. And I'm like, no.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the best TV show in the world.
For you.
I don't know what the best TV show in the world is.
For you, it'd be like How I Met Your Mother or something.
Nah. No, but I think it's like the people that like instantly shut you down. They're like, what are you, Breaking Bad's the best show ever.
Yeah, right. Okay. Do you like Breaking Bad? Have you seen it?
I've watched the first few seasons and I had to stop watching it because it made me feel sad.
Oh, really? Really?
I don't like watching stuff that makes me feel sad.
Fair enough. I haven't seen
And
it.
it gets worse
It's
as well.
so intense and and I'm just like, and it's so close to reality because it's just like a high school teacher and people in modern day.
Yeah.
Whereas Game of Thrones, they're all wearing weird cloaks and stuff, and so you can
there's
really
White
separate
Walkers,
yourself.
it's like, that's not real.
And it's just like, oh, cool, this guy's got cancer.
He's got cancer and he
God,
has to sell meth and all
his
this.
son's sick, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, and his missus is, oh my God, okay, this is so. And me
Yeah.
and Lucy would be watching an episode, and she'd be like, this is good, but I can't watch it. It's too full on. Then I was like, okay, I'll watch it without you. And then I
yeah.
just felt sad.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who was singer actually? Okay, no. Okay, this is going to sound like blasphemy.
Stranger Things. There's another one. Okay, go.
Oh yeah, I've watched the first season of that and then I didn't move on.
Yeah, weird.
This woman is so talented and I'm not doubting her talent and what she can do and like her dancing and her singing and her acting as well. But I've never understood the hype for Beyonce.
Oh, thank God you said it.
Is it?
I'm the same.
Yeah, I love her. Like I respect her, but I don't understand how she always gets best album at the Grammys and stuff. Well, not always, but like she's
Well,
got
she only
it.
just got it.
Yeah, she only just got it. Sorry, but she's got a lot of Grammys for her work, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't really get it.
Neither. It's like it's like she's untouchable, but it's like, why?
Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know what
Yeah.
it is. I saw her live. I did actually see her live, and she was amazing live.
I saw her live, years
yeah,
ago.
but I still just don't like her music. It annoys me. I don't know why.
Man.
What do you think about
I think
Beyonce?
green's not a very nice colour on you, Ellie.
Yeah, I want to be Beyonce. No,
Yeah.
actually,
No.
that is
She's
actually-
untouchable. A guy wants to touch her, but she's untouchable
No,
apparently.
not that kind of touch. I just think it's the same with Breaking Bad. It's like I feel like so many you have to really tread carefully about the critique about Breaking
Yeah.
Bad and Beyonce because there'll be somebody that's just like no, and then they'll
Yeah.
just come in and just defend them.
Do you know
tooth
what that
and
is? That is me with From Software games.
Yeah.
Like 90% of people listening to this will play a From Software game and be like, this is bad. And I'm going to come and like, no, it's the best game ever made.
To be fair, if anybody tries to say that Taylor Swift is a bad person, I'm like, if you don't like her music, fine, but she's not a bad person.
Nice. There you
Have
go.
people been calling her a bad person?
Yeah.
People
Why?
are real mean
Oh my
about
God, people
Taylor.
are awful to Taylor Swift.
People are mean about everyone that is on screen or
No, people
in
are,
their...
yeah, but people are especially awful towards Taylor Swift.
Really?
Yeah.
What's been happening in the comment section?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't go through comments.
Yes, you do.
yeah. Just look at any article about Taylor Swift and
Yeah.
just hate about her.
Even just
for
on
doing
Reddit.
anything.
Yeah, there's like lots of shit on Reddit and like there's a whole Travis and Taylor subreddit and all I see in that, not that I follow it, but it always comes up in my suggested.
Yeah.
And it's just shitting on them.
It's kind of giving you
constantly.
suggestions because you
What?
shit on it.
What? No, I don't scroll and like read all the comments. No.
Guys, gaming podcast.
Oh my gosh, do we even have time for the last segment? I
No,
don't
probably
know.
not.
Yeah,
We'll
probably
save
not.
it.
We'll
do
save
it.
it.
Let's save it. Let's save it.
We'll save
Okay.
it.
That was a great chat though. Let us know anything we've just talked about, which was actually quite a lot. Tell us in the Facebook group. What are your opinions? Who do you not like or like?
Your thoughts, please.
Yes, please. Other than that, we'll see you on Monday for a DLC. You're playing Dark Souls 1. You're playing
Far Cry 6, I haven't touched the VR game that I talked about last week, but I will get into it.
Nice. And I'm still playing Split Fiction, and I have a feeling I'm getting.
Where are you at the moment?
Okay, so we're now in the old. I don't want to ruin anything, but we're in the old subconscious. The old, we've just come into that area.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. How
Nice.
far is that?
I can't remember, but
Okay.
it's-
Wow, good chat.
Yeah, we're getting on. Have a great week. Bye.